All right, first and foremost, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well and who's worthy to be counted for double honors. And peace out to you brothers out there pushing the truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for the love of the gospel. All right, it's the brother Gaboria from the Indiana camp. Come back at you again with another sit down to basically talk about a study to show thyself approved. All right, now when I say that, I got this idea from I got this topic basically from Elder Apostle Tahar, going into the table of nations, and he said that what's he doing is really basically showing you how do you study. He looks up words, goes to definition of words, looks up the meaning of them, and it's all gonna link. That's one thing about studying. it's all gonna link together, But he said one thing. He said, you guys out there that's half-assed and that's not really studying. They got a demon that can walk up that knows some stuff can make you look stupid. And he quoted vocab Malone and everything. But I'm like, yeah, man, that's actually a good topic to go into, because basically it goes into like you shouldn't be going above thy strength. Don't start teaching things that you never even dipped into. Brothers in the truth 2-3 years, trying to break down. Which I'm not saying, if the Lord, I'm not saying that brothers been in the truth. He can be in the truth for 6 months and kind of can get a gist of everything. I've seen brothers in the truth for almost going on 2 years, but and it's breaking down scriptures like the elders and apostles. Go into it, going to words, going to dictionaries, going this and going that. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying is if you don't have the understanding of that, you shouldn't be breaking it down. You shouldn't even be going into it. A lot of Jake's trying to stroke their ego and start talking about things that they don't understand. That's like me. That's like me never even read the book of Daniel, but yeah, I'm going to Daniel the 8th chapter. Yeah, see, and that's talking about that's profane and vain babbling, man. Vain means empty, and babbling means just keep going on and blabbering. You're doing empty talk. Because that your words that you're saying, and you're really spewing out false doctrine when the Lord actually can destroy you for that. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. It says, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that need not to be ashamed, which the word ashamed goes into the word embarrassed, or ashamed. It says a negative predicate of presumed, it says not ashamed. That needs not to be ashamed, having no cause to be shamed, So you basically be embarrassed, man. A workman that need not to be embarrassed, because a person can go out there and embarrass you if you know something. It says rightly dividing the word of truth, which means what, man? Actually knowing what scriptures means, what scriptures go to. Like we might pull out certain scriptures like double fold, as far as, for example, we pull out Revelations 2 and 9 a lot. Where it talks about the say they are Jews or not. Now that's really actually talking about other Israelites, but we use it today as far as the fake Jews. Oh, another one is in Psalms 51st chapter, where it's talking about he came with smooth. He came with his words were smoother than oil, but he came drawing swords. That's actually talking about your brother, because if you actually read the couple verses above that, it goes into how King David was talking about it wasn't one of my enemies that deceived me. It was you, one of my own kindred, and it was just about to start basically talking about it be our own people sometimes. It be our own people that be deceiving. Deceptions, it be demons, man. But we do use that because that's a key part of Esau, because Esau has that tactic, and it's in the scriptures that he has that tactic, But if you read more into that scripture, it's actually going to the way a brother is like that. He'll come with smooth words, oil, he'll come with a kind heart, but yet he'll be really deceiving and plotting on you, and that's a tactic of Esau. That's one of the traits that Esau has, yeah. So we know what certain scriptures mean, and we know how to place them with certain ones, but certain scriptures does mean double fold. You can apply that scripture to whatever topic, to a topic that you're going into. Like as far as, like I said, we apply those scriptures to Esau, even though they mean something else. We might apply scripture that's talking about how Jake ain't shit, but it might have a characteristic of an Edomite, of Esau in there, which we might use, So it's just, that's rightly dividing the word truth, knowing what it means, So if a person has a question about that, you can properly break it all the way down. I'm gonna go ahead and get this. This is in Sirach. This is Sirach chapter 1 in verse. I'm going to start from 1. This is Sirach chapter 24 verse 1. It says, wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of her people. In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before her power. It says, I came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the. No, this is not what I wanted. Slacky, I should have been more thorough about that. Here it is right here. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 5. And I'm going to start from 10. It says, be steadfast in thy understanding. Let thy words be the same. Be swift to hear, and let thy life be certain. And with patience give answer. All right. If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth, which means what? Be quiet. If you don't know what you're talking about, if you're, the brother's not gonna look at you like you're no less. The brother's not gonna look at you like you're, this nigga don't know what he talking about. Fuck this nigga. You a demon. And if you do, the Lord's gonna get rid of him. All right. I'm pretty sure the brother is just want to get his question answered, man. That's why we got to go up to the change of command, man. Let's say a new brother coming into the camp, man. He's gonna ask the brother before him, hey, because really, to be honest, most likely that brother's questions is gonna be the same question that you had. It's really a rank instruction, it's order. Let's say you came into the camp. You started understanding. You be like, hey, why do we call ourselves Israelites? And then a brother broke it down to you, and they're like, oh, okay, and you get the understanding on it. Then 6 months later, another brother coming to the camp. He's standing on the side, He going in, and then let's say he call you one day, he's like, hey, bro, why we call ourselves Israelites, bro? I never understood that. You can be like, oh, bro, well, we got this scripture, you go into it like this, and you go into it like that, because you had that same question, so you know how to understand it. And on top of that, it builds you more up, man, because you're going to go into it, you're going to look up words, you're going to, break bread with the brother, and the brother might pull out a point. He might pull out a point like, yeah, bro, and it makes sense because I was reading it such and such, and that linked with this. And you be like, yeah, calm, bro, you're right. So it's really building the younger brothers more up than versus just going straight to the elder and the elder break it down for him. That's one is out of order, and two is building building the younger brothers up in the faith. But the main key point is, if you don't know what you're talking about, you should be quiet. All right, let the next brother answer it. Let the brother with understanding answer it. Like I said, it says if thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. Which means what? If you know what it means, answer it. But if you don't, be quiet. That's why the brother Matati, he always, which I also agree with the saying, if you're not sure about your answer, then it's just as bad as you not knowing your answer. Because if you're not sure about something, that means you can be persuaded on that's not the answer. If we're not 100% sure that Yahweh Shah is his son's name and Yahweh is a father's name, if we're like, is it that name? Then guess what? We're acceptable to being persuaded that that's not their names. All right. Scripture says, now I'm gonna finish this and I'm gonna get the scripture I was thinking of because I don't want to quote. I want to butcher it. It says, honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of man is his fall. So what's that mean, man? Honor, you can get a lot of honor from the words you speak, but guess what? Out of that same mouth you get honor from, you can also get shame from the same one because you can talk some bull. Scriptures. The Apostle Gabar always say, man, you don't want to talk yourself. What is it? Man, he hasn't said it in a while, but basically he said you can talk yourself into some shit. Basically, you can, instead of the scripture says understanding much but comprehending much by saying little, which means basically you say a few words to let the person to get your point across, and then that's it, let it go. You don't want to keep going on and on and on and on and on, because eventually you'll say something that slips you up, and then boom, you just messed up all your saying. You just messed up your whole entire speech. You can get caught up like that. Now, scripture I was thinking of, oh damn, I should have got it. Now I forgot what scripture I was thinking of now. What was I thinking of? Hold on, it's on the tip of my tongue. Slaki, I can bear with me. What it is? Shit, damn, I lost it. What was I going into? Honor and shame. If I answer that, I forgot it. I should have got it when I should have got it when I thought about it. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up. It says, "Be not called a whisperer, the gossiper, or a liar." It says, "And lie not in the weight with thy tongue, for a foul shame is upon the thief, and an evil condemnation upon the double tongue." Which means what? It says, scripture says, "A double man is unstable in all his ways." Hey, yeah, I mean, shit, scripture self-explanatory, man. It says, "Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small." So which means what, man? We're supposed to be studying really all aspects of life, everything, because everything is edifying. If brothers is good in technology, get into the technology, man. Get into your hardware, your software, your programming, your operating systems. Go get all, if that's your key, hey, get into it. That's personally my key. I get into the technology a lot. But hey, brothers, get into the history. You got to dip and dab in the history. Brothers that's in the health and the herbs. Hey, dip and dab in health and the herbs, man. Hey, brothers that's in the know-abouts, the current events. Hey, getting them current events, man. You really have to be really versatile, and you have to really be well-rounded. When you're well-rounded, you can hit on every aspect of little things. Which who reminds me of that a lot is Elder Malcolm from Chicago. He can hit on like little instruments on every little thing. So yeah, man, this video is just basically saying, man, don't just be out there spewing vain talk, because it can end up getting you destroyed. Matter of fact, I'm gonna end it off with this scripture. This is Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 29. It says, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearer." All right. So it says, what's corrupt communication, man? False doctrine. All right. Matter of fact, I'm looking at the word corrupt. Yeah, rotten, worn out, poor quality, bad, unfitted for use, worthless. Corrupt, bad, rotten, that is worthless. All right, and basically empty. And what is the use of edifying with corrupt false? What is the use of edifying for false doctrine? If I tell you his name is Yahushua, Jesus, Yahweh, Jehovah, and you call upon that name and you still end up getting destroyed, what use was that? It didn't have no use for it. You called upon the name because you wanted to get salvation. So it's worthless. It has no weight to it. You shouldn't have corrupt communication proceeding out of your mouth, man. All right. Hey, in the book of James, it talks about blessing. I'm gonna get it. I want to say it's the second chapter. It might be 3 or it might be 1. Here it is right here, I think. Yeah, it's talking about the tongue right there, see? But that's what I want. Here it is, right here. This is James chapter 3, verse 10. It says, "Out of the same mouth proceed blessings and cursings. My brethren, these things ought not so to be. Do a fountain send forth at the same place sweet water and bitter?" So basically what's talking about is, you shouldn't be mixing the truth in with lies. All right, you shouldn't be telling you're an Israelite. The Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua is dealing with you. The Lord's coming back to save 144,000 elect men and a 1/3 of Israel. You know, and but basically, the Lord's not gonna destroy America utterly. There's gonna be parts where we're gonna still be dwelling, and we're gonna have inhabitants of, and Esau is still gonna dwell there and have his little flourish, his little cities and stuff. But we're still gonna have a foot on his neck. No, see, man, you was going good at first, but now you messed it up when you started spewing out that madness. That's why James said, "What, my brethren, these things ought not so to be." All right. Because guess what? That it says little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. So once you tell one little lie and the whole entire thing, man, hey, you fucked up all, man. I like to put an example as what's the difference between putting a drop of poison and a whole gallon of poison? If you're baking a cake and you put a quart of poison in it, is it gonna kill you more faster than you putting a drop of poison in something? Poison is poison, If by you putting that drop, it's gonna kill you just the same way of putting a pound in it. Now it might kill you a little faster, or it might get in your bloodstream a little quicker, but it's still gonna get the job done. It's still gonna kill you. You can't be like, oh, it's just a little poison. What can it hurt? It's still gonna kill you. Like it's not gonna diminish just because it's just a little bit. It's a little dose of it. Hey, here you go. You got motherfuckers to be having sex unprotected. And they be having unprotected sex, bodily fluids mixing and stuff. And yet, you might go to the doctor the next day and boom, you got full-blown AIDS. And you might only bust in it once. A quick minute, 2 minutes, or, however long it takes you to bust a nut, whatever. But here you go, you got a good 2-3 minutes. You just did, probably no more than a couple cups of bodily fluids got mixed. But here you go, you got a full-blown disease all throughout your body. Doesn't matter how. Hey, it could be one time. It could be one time. You could just swap bloods, a handshake with her, and then boom, you get full blown AIDS from that, just from a splat of blood. It shows you, man. Hey, just a little lies can corrupt the whole entire doctrine. It says does a fountain send forth sweet water and bitter? It says, can a fig tree, my brethren, bear berries, neither of vine figs? So can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh water. So it means what? It's basically saying that you won't drink, you won't. It's either one or the other, man. You're not gonna get both from one thing. If I come to my computer and I'm trying to cook, I ain't gonna be able to go on my computer, cook and watch TV on at the same time, man. It's impossible. You can't do two things. You can't do two things at once if it's only meant to be one thing. They're separate. Good and evil is meant to be separate. You can't mix it to become good evil or good and evil, and then it's basically the neutral position. No, man, the Lord's deal of all balance, man. That means it's a left-hand side and it's a right-hand side. Every single part of your body is always a counterpart next to it, man. You have 2 lungs, you have 2 fingers, you have 2 eyes, you have 2 ears, you have 2 legs and 2 arms. You don't have a third arm between it, and it's just a mixture between your both other sides. Man, it's one side and it's the next side. It ain't no middle, it ain't no gray area, it ain't no neutral. And that's the balance of it. All right. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Bashem Kakodash. Double to the elders and apostles, great millstone who rule well. And shalom to you brothers out there, pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely.